And welcome back, everybody. Well, on the weather scene, we've been talking about this stationary front that's really kind of been, I guess, our weather maker, you could call it, over the past couple of days. It's doing a couple of things for us. It's keeping all that cold Arctic air to our north and east, hence why we've seen much colder temperatures to the north and east and a lot more mild temperatures down to the south and west. And what we've got going on is strong upper level winds continue to pull a little bit of Pacific moisture into the state. Once that moisture meets up with that colder air, that's where it's kind of transitioning to snow throughout central Montana this morning. We have seen the degrees drop a little bit in and around Great Falls this morning. They'll likely continue to fall a couple of degrees here this morning. About 30 right now in Lewistown, 37 in the capital, but notice much colder along the Highline and northeastern Montana. And right along the leading edge of that stationary front is where that little band of snow is kicking up. Throughout the remainder of your day Friday, we'll still see those little isolated flurries throughout central Montana. Not really heavy hitters, might be heavier at times. Really the biggest concern this morning is the snow that fell initially melted right away, kind of started off as rain and then transitioned, so could make for a little bit of a slippery commute, like bridges, overpasses, things like that. Could be a little bit extra slippery there. So throughout the morning, we'll see those flurries just kind of dance throughout the area, more into the mountains. Pretty minimal, though, in the way of accumulation. Mostly cloudy skies with a little bit better chance of snow accumulation from Cut Bank into Havre. Those flurries will kind of die down, though, as the day progresses. So overall accumulations only about a trace or so, probably about a half an inch or so for Great Falls, less though into the capital. Cut Bank to Havre, right around an inch and a half or so. Same story for Lewistown. The mountains could catch a little bit more, but really pretty minimal impacts with the snow. The biggest one just being a little bit of a slippery commute in some areas as those temperatures fall. So as you notice, today's high is actually going to be lower than where we're sitting right now. 31 in Great Falls today, 39 in the capital. Looking at a couple of teens up into northeastern Montana this morning as well. And again, you can really just see where that stationary front is camped out throughout central Montana this morning. Lows tonight still staying very cold into northeastern Montana. Teens throughout central Montana. Still a couple of 20s though throughout western Montana as we're seeing a little bit more mild air there. Can't rule out a couple of lingering flurries this weekend, but on Saturday for the most part, snow should pretty much stay over the mountains. Just enough snow to give you a light little cushion if you're going to be out skiing or boarding here this weekend. Again, can't rule out a couple flurries. A little bit better chance of seeing some flurries in and around the capital throughout Saturday afternoon. And those flurries just kind of continue to taper off as the day progresses. Really the big impacts here this weekend is just going to be a lot colder temperatures compared to where we've been over the past couple of days. And even though they are colder, they're pretty on track with average. We'll see about 30 degrees in Great Falls, right on track with freezing west of the divide. Teens along the Highline, about 25 in Lewistown, 29 again in Great Falls. Stationary front stays camped out through Saturday. We'll still continue to see that Pacific moisture moving in, hence why we'll still continue to put that possibility of a couple isolated flurries in the forecast through the weekend. But again, very minimal accumulations. That big cold Arctic air mass remains camped up in northeastern Montana, so we're still going to stay pretty cold into central Montana. That cold air mass is going to begin moving out, though, the first part of this next week. High pressure is going to build. Once that high pressure starts to build, though, especially on Tuesday, although we're going to start warming up slowly but surely, it's likely going to get a little bit windy again on Tuesday. As that high pressure ridge builds, high pressure will stick with us at least through the first half or so of this next week. So it'll start out cold, gradually warm up. Thursday, Friday should be a little bit more mild looking ahead. Over the next 7 days, here's what we're tracking. 31 with flurries throughout the area today. Still cloudy on Saturday and Sunday. A little bit more sun taking us into the first part of this next work week. And temperatures rebounding a little bit to more seasonal averages on Tuesday. But again, getting a little bit windy as that high pressure ridge builds in. Here in the capital, couple spotty flurries, maybe a little bit better chance of flurries Saturday morning, cloudy up through the weekend, and again, pretty darn cold to start out the work week, warming up a little bit by Wednesday and Thursday. Keely.
Thanks, Jason.